Peanut Gallery.
Good morning. I am calling to order the Management and Internal Services Committee meeting for Tuesday, December the 9th. We have already prayed and pledged, and we have a quorum with 2 members of the committee present. We need approval of the minutes of the previous meeting from October. Very much. And is there any changes to the agenda?
Ready for your approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I approve of this agenda. We're moving forward. I have no presentations or consent agenda items. Moving directly into debate, Deputy County Manager, Colonel Glenn Kennedy, what do you have for me today?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
The first item is an amendment to the policy 302.1, which is a grievance process or procedure. During the last couple grievance procedures or hearings, staff saw the need to clarify the grievance process. We consulted with Mr. Driver, and the following he made the following recommended changes. A couple ways to say that. First of all, the right to the Civil Service Board hearing is only extended to full-time employees. Part-time employees can address their grievances for termination with the Resources Director. We changed some verbiage to clarify the procedure timeline to make it more understandable. And lastly, if prior to a hearing an employee decides to have legal representation, they're required to provide the contact information to that attorney, to the HR director and the county attorney, in no less than 5 days prior to the hearing. If you have any further questions or need anything I said clarified, Dr. Carney can do it.
If someone has a grievance and they bring it to the Civil Service Board, does that board only meet once a month, once a quarter, or they meet as needed to?
Civil Service Board will meet for a grievance hearing when they're required to hear it, when there's one pending.
So they don't have to, you don't have to wait a whole quarter?
So they don't have
Okay.
a grievance hearing every quarter or anything like that. It's as needed.
How often do you see that happening?
One every couple years.
One or two a year, maybe?
Maybe. It just depends. I mean, we might have 1 or 2 a year, then we may go 2 years without one.
So this is not 2 or 3 a month?
No.
Kind of volume, okay. All right, we have a motion to move this. Does it need to go to debate? Can it go to,
I'm sorry?
does this need to go to debate?
It can go to consent.
Consent? Remove, thank you. Do you have anything else for us?
I do not, no ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Blanchard, how are you today?
Good, ma'am. How are you?
Excellent. How much money are we going to spend?
I see what kind of day it's going to be already here.
Exactly right.
All right. Well, the first item I have for your consideration, it's $220,754 to answer your question directly. That's for clarity, permitting, and licensing. This is software that the commission approved about 2 years ago for us to implement for our permitting and licensing processes. That involves many different departments. So the dollar amount that I just mentioned is broken up among several enterprise funds as well as the general fund. I don't want to jinx it, but this software is about a month to 6 weeks away from going live. This is our renewal of the licensing so that we can continue this out through the next year. Staff recommends approval.
To snap my what would Doug do
Yeah.
bracelet. Or he would have questions, but we'll move that one to consent. And what is the next item?
Next item is a dedicated internet access agreement with Cogent Communications. This is actually just a renewal. We have a 3-year agreement with them that is expiring, and they're only offering 1-year renewals now. So we have a 1-year renewal with Cogent. It is at $100 less than before, so Mr. Sparrow negotiated a $1 a month decrease for 10 gigabit per second of bandwidth from them. So the overall cost is $10,200 per year, and they'll be paid from broadband operating budget. Staff recommends approval.
So moved.
Next item I have is the migration of CityWorks software to Trimble Software as a Service platform. In the discussion previously in the audit committee, you heard about the facility services work orders. Those are managed through the CityWorks platform. What we're proposing to do here, and you've heard me mention software as a service before and migration from an on-premise system to a hosted system. That's what we have here. We're moving this from our servers located in our data center to a hosted platform. 1 year cost of this is $152,359.90. That will move everything to their platform. It will increase, obviously, in future years. The benefits to the county financially, I was prepared for Doug's questions on this, but the cost is difficult to pin down. However, we will see major improvements in efficiency and our ability to field applications, because we will not be stuck on our hardware. We'll be using their hardware. They will support, push security updates. They'll handle disaster recovery. A lot of things that we handle internally now will go to that platform. Staff recommends approval.
So our information will be not on our servers, but in the cloud at a,
At a data center.
Yes, ma'am. In a data center, yes, correct.
that was coming out of my mouth. I was like, do I want to say that? It'd be at a data center somewhere
Correct.
hosted, somewhere else.
The moving from the one software to the other, is that labor intensive for your staff, or is it by software?
Well, it's a partnership, because we have a lot of data, a lot of imagery that we'll be needing to move to that new platform. Since CityWorks has the ability not just to do work orders, but you can attach videos. Water utility does that a lot. Videos, photography, all that is going to be migrated by this team. Benefit of this is that once we move to their platform, they will handle all of that in the future. We won't have to store all that locally. So again, that's one of those areas it's a little bit murky, but we won't have to store that here anymore or back it up. And so we potentially would have savings down the road, but it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly how many dollars.
And the work of doing that migration is part of the 152,000?
Yes, ma'am.
So if all the work is being done this year, how does the cost jump so much in year 2?
Because they're giving us a discount, and I know that sounds backwards, and since you have an accounting degree, I'll get into the weeds with you on that one. The cost is over $300,000 a year for service, and essentially what they've done is given us a significant discount to accommodate our budget that we here. And then over the next 2 years, it will increase in order to bring us up to what they're calling that discounted amount. And so in year 3, we'll go back on a cycle of a small increase that's going to be tied to CPI.
Have this in your GIS budget?
GIS has this in their budget for this year, and they will request the future amounts in their future operating budgets.
So moved. Next.
Next item I have for you is a tower lease agreement with American Tower for Blanchard Park. You're probably familiar with this tower if you've been to Blanchard Park. That tower's been there since 1998. Back then, the county commission approved a tower site land license agreement. This essentially means that company leasing the land from us, but they built the tower, so that tower is their responsibility to maintain. And then they pay us each month a certain amount in order to lease it. As part of our original agreement, it continues in this agreement, we also get a certain percentage, 25%, of their total revenues for leasing. So if they have if they put a Verizon antenna there, then we get 25% of that as well. So what they have proposed is to extend the lease. Right now, it is currently under a lease that they can renew up until July 23rd of 2048. They want to add the option to an additional 4 terms of 5 years each. In theory, would take it out to 2068. Now, that is a long time. The difference there is over $3 million. For the remainder of the agreement, as is right now, it's $3 million. However, their reason for wanting to do this, there's 2 reasons. They are responsible for the tower and all the maintenance. They needed to replace it. That's on their dime. Then they also need to do infrastructure improvements. And if they're going to invest a lot of money in, you know how much IT stuff costs, if they're going to make a lot of infrastructure improvements on that site and on that facility, they want to make sure that it's worth their while. And they also want to make sure that it's viable if they tell Verizon or another company that, yes, we have this site locked down for X number of years, so it will only enhance our ability to come from that facility. So the overall value As of right now, and this is a conservative estimate because I did not factor in potential increases for that 25% because I don't know what they're going to be. But if we continue what we're getting per year for the 25% plus the annual increases we're going to get in the lease cost, then the overall cost is potentially over $6.3 million.
Or
Revenue.
Revenue, I'm sorry,
Revenue.
revenue.
2048, that's a long time from now. I don't plan to be sitting here.
If I'm wrong, in 2068, you can track me down at the home and tell me.
And while we're in that mode of thinking about audits and checking behind things, for us to get 25% of the revenue from their leases to their subleases, how do we know? Do we audit their leases? Do we get a copy of their leases to their folks
Like Verizon.
to make sure we're getting the right amount?
We don't get that information, no ma'am. But we
Trust
do,
that
they send us with the revenue, we get a breakdown of what they say essentially that we get.
So moved, thank you.
All right, the final item I've got for your consideration is some network equipment from WorldTech IT. This is for a piece of equipment, it's called an F5, or it's manufactured by a company named F5, that provides some functions for us for internet load balancing. So when people connect to us through the internet, this makes sure that we don't have one or more servers that is too overburdened. And there's also some other internet and network security functions that take place through this equipment as well. So it is a piece of critical infrastructure. I should say they are pieces of critical infrastructure because we have several of them. What we're proposing to do is to replace this old equipment with a hosted solution, another software as a service. We've got a 5-year agreement here that we're proposing with WorldTech IT. It'll be a little over $24,000 per year going forward. And because of what this equipment costs and what the requirement is to support it each year, which is $30,000, over the 5-year agreement, we actually saved the county $134,000. So I'm saving money today.
See what you're trying to do.
All right, so staff has reviewed this. We think it is, it is critical infrastructure and it's something that we need to do. Recommends approval.
And your budget and the IT department?
It's in the IT budget, yes, ma'am.
So moved, thank you. Proud of himself with that $6 million
Revenue.
revenue.
Right.
That was good. Slid it right there in the middle. Thank you, Mr. Blanchard. I appreciate your help today. Now moving on to facility services. Change order?
Morning.
Morning.
I'm not going to spend as much money as Mr. Blanchard, but I'm going to spend a little bit today. I have one item for your consideration. It's change order number 2 for additional services with JLA, who was our consultant on the Columbia County Fire Rescue Station 2 project. As you know, over the summer, we cut the ribbon and have been in that facility operating. We're still going through the closeout phase of that project, going through warranties and documents and punch lists and a few more things on site, but this is the final change order for that for our consultant. If you go back even further and remembering this project during design, we originally bid this project, it was over budget. We went through a very long VE process to redesign that project, we rebid it, and then started construction. During construction, we extended a little bit past our contractual obligations with the consultant due to unforeseen conditions, bad dirt and soil on site. So we were a little bit late opening that and a little beyond schedule. So this change order accommodates the additional services of our consultant for that length of time. The staff recommends approval of change order number 2 with JLA in the amount of $25,945. This is within our project budget. I have these funds.
So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any other committee items on the agenda today. Do we have any legal matters?
Go ahead.
Driver, let's move into staff report.
The first report I have for you is the year-to-date budget report for the month of November. We should be performing around 42%, and all funds are reporting as they should be. You will notice in the general fund, the year-to-date revenue at the time of printing this report was still a little low, but we got a big chunk of taxes at the 1st of December. So next month, you will see a much higher revenue number.
IPTF, a one-time,
It is in the end of October.
I don't have any questions. Next.
The next report is the sales tax report. This is for the month of October. For the first time in several months, our amount was under 3 million. It was at 2.9 million, giving us an annualized percentage increase of 5.35%. This number was 4.91% less than last month and 8.44% less than the same month last year. Not sure why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing happened in October that I can,
I did have a very good meeting with the former Commissioner of Revenue yesterday, who is gonna come back to, just give us some insights on how revenue works. So looking forward to that meeting in the next couple of weeks.
former commissioner,
She's former commissioner
can-
and the former state treasurer.
speak freely with us.
Well, we hope. So I'm sure she'll be very professional, but definitely any insight that we can get as local government would be helpful.
I mean, I was fixing to say that's a disappointing number, but it's still a good amount that helps with.
Yes.
And the investment report.
Yes, just the investment report for your review. This is for the month of October as well.
As we, of the Fed possibly dropping rates just incrementally going forward, do we feel pretty confident in some of these got locked in?
I know Mr. Johnson has had some conversation with some of the local banks. Wanna,
Yeah, so I think everything is based on the treasury right now, so everybody's kind of eking it down just a little bit. We're starting to see these numbers go down. We were concerned, not really concerned, but, you know, we utilized our PFA to borrow money at a low rate and be able to deposit the money at a higher rate. We're still exceeding that rate now, so we're still on the positive side of that. We've benefited from some pretty significant cash flow as a result of smart investments. So even if these continue to eke down a little bit, I think we're going to be okay moving forward. I think we're able to kind of get the good out of it. And obviously, we have arbitrage issues as it relates to how we invest this money. So Ms. Reese and I have moved some of this money into what's called a slug account. It's a state local government account that would not be subject to arbitrage. So we're being very careful as to how we place this money, but we are seeing interest rates come down, but it's not alarming to us.
and we did just open a new account for the tax money with Queensborough that you'll see next month at 3.5%. So I thought that was
Yeah.
very strong.
We're negotiating these on a pretty regular, almost a weekly basis. So the policy gives us the ability to move that money as long as we're in agreement with that, so, and adjust those rates. So we're doing that pretty regularly.
Job on Treasury Man. Have anything else for us?
That's it.
Ed, do we have any commissioner or public comment for this? None. I got a couple of executive session items. I'd like to move those to the full board.
yes, I agree.
Very good, we'll do that. I have nothing else for this agenda, for this committee, so we will adjourn and come back in 3 minutes for Development and Planning Services. Thank you.